weeks ago, Corey Holcomb actually responded to the viral clip of him pushing Christina Payne in the face. And in that clip, he appealed to his audience and then said that, hey, I've never hit a woman before. Okay, so this is not in my behavior. And to be honest, outside that incident, he could very well be telling the truth. Now, also, he had many fans who believe that Christina Payne played as much of a role in Corey Holcomb pushing her as advertised.
I still want to know, how did it get to the point that you that close to a man to get hit by a man that you saying, oh, he this, that, and all that, unless you wanted it to happen. Unless you put yourself in positions for it to happen. Provoking. See, y'all be forgetting about how it gets there. People will take a lick to take you down. People will sacrifice themselves to take you down.
Now, this is an unpopular opinion. In the court of law, it won't hold up. But to be honest, he does have some merit. If Christina Payne did not want to be in any kind of altercation with Corey Holcomb, she too could have left. She was out there with another man. She should have not been trying to provoke Corey Holcomb. And it was a dangerous situation for her as well. And she decided not to do it. This is largely true. So Christina Payne did agitate also from this perspective. And even though she didn't leave, she also kept her hands to herself. And that's where this argument goes wrong. And then you have other guys who feel, well,
not hits to the jaw. I already knew your comedy was wild, and it was mostly women degrading. But I didn't think you would hit a woman. Shit, you hit her kind of fast. You was on that podcast shaking when you went to hit AD. That's the classic case of a bitch woman beater. Quick to strike a female, but told her, say it again, say it again. It shouldn't have took number one time the way you swang.
Woo! I mean, that's his personal opinion. I wanted to show both opinions because, to be honest, they both give balance. But then I want to talk about the fallout. Fast forward! On Corey Holcomb's last show, I honestly believe he made a pretty big error. And it wasn't that he was going at me or going at Anton Daniels or calling us all moist and gay. Woo! It was the admission of some problems that he's been having in his comedy career. And it started when he said this.
You know, I haven't been working a lot of my gigs. I lost a lot of my gigs. So, by the way, thank you, TMZ. I lost another gig today. Gary, Indiana on the boat. Y'all got me good. Y'all got me good. Y'all got me good. I'm losing gigs. People are saying, Corey, the optics of that video. Yeah. Y'all got me good, TMZ.
So he's talking about he's losing gigs. And what TMZ is doing is effective. In other words, he's blaming TMZ for what's happening in his career. And why I think this is important to talk about, because if TMZ, in fact, was helping him lose gigs, and he feels that TMZ is up against him, and if he feels that TMZ and him will go to war and he is not backing down from TMZ, the last thing you would want to do is to let TMZ know that what they're doing is working.
He's right, you know.
I think it's very silly for him to even admit that he is losing gigs. Now, obviously, when you're at war with somebody, you don't want them to have the heads up, but he clearly let them know that what they're doing is successful. So what are they going to do? They're going to keep doing what they're doing. Woo! Secondarily, he's blaming TMZ for putting out the video, which, in my honest opinion, TMZ did not put out the video. It was some other Instagram page that put out the video. TMZ then shared the video and did offer Christina Payne for an interview. Now, again, TMZ did interview Christina Payne about a year ago when this all happened, but he did not lose any business then. This is around late 2024 and early 2025. So in my honest opinion, TMZ is not responsible for the video clip being put out. It seems that the video from the venue was leaked out, which is where he was either performing or getting into an altercation with Christina Payne. And then the whole dust up happened after the video was released. Then the other problem with Corey Holcomb is this.
I'm talking about, I done lost some real, you dig. All because it's certain places that are ran by the people that will listen to a TMZ. I ain't never lost no gigs before.
So here he's saying that in the past, he hasn't lost any gigs before, despite whatever he may have done before in the past. Okay. So in other words, whatever I've been doing, I've never had any consequences for it. So the consequences that I'm facing is all TMZ's fault.
Boy, you don't sit your stupid ass down. Who the you think you is?
And then this is the problem.
Like, we have people saying stuff about me all the time. But when TMZ says it, oh, it must be true about this guy. TMZ, you see what you caused me? You got to do something about that.
Huh? So because of TMZ, he's never lost gigs before. And so TMZ got to do something about that. Like, TMZ needs to compensate him for the fact that he is losing gigs. Now, I want to use Corey as an example of what will happen to any guy that has some sort of video evidence in which you're being aggressive towards women or talking about women. And of course, people can get mad. It could have been a lot worse. You could get angry. You could be provoked. We are all humans and we all make mistakes. Okay. There are a lot of things in my life that I have done that I wish I sincerely could take back. However, when something like this happens, when it's regarding women in this particular time zone, the best thing to do is to get out in front of it. Look, I made a mistake. You know, I want to make an apology to such and such person. I got into my feelings. I shouldn't have done X, Y, and Z. And I'm looking to move forward. And you know what I want to do is tell other people not to make the same mistake that I made. It was a mistake. I was upset and it was heated. And, you know, like I said, this was a bad judgment on my case. With that, people will still probably hate you and dislike you. Okay. But then what you're doing here is you're taking accountability, right?
He's right, you know.
But
bro, take accountability for your actions. You overplayed your part. You got emotional, you got in a woman's face, and you mushed her, punched her, slapped her, whatever it was. It was something that shouldn't have been done. You were the aggressor. So you have to take responsibility. Don't get mad at TMZ for putting out the story and you're the one that did it. You know what I'm saying? And then you lied about it. At some point, bro, you got to take accountability, bro. Yes, you're going to lose shows because it's everywhere. Nobody wants to book you. Nobody wants you at their venue. Nobody wants to look like they support people that put their hands on women, bro. That's not good for business. So yeah, you're going to lose business, but you got to start taking accountability, bro. It was you that did that. TMZ didn't make you step to that woman and smack her. TMZ didn't do that. Corey Holcomb did that.
Woo! And this creator is correct. The person that we see on the video is Corey Holcomb. The person that we see that's engaging in the argument is Corey Holcomb. In my opinion, this is not TMZ's fault. It's not Futon's fault. It's not Okie Dokie's fault. It's not the lead attorney's fault or whoever he considers to be in a quote unquote backdooria crew. And I noticed that whenever somebody is saying something that he doesn't like, that person's automatically in backdooria. But I just have a question. Why does he focus so much on backdooria? Woo! It's getting kind of played out, but it's okay. I mean, you know, hey, I like the show, and if you want to continue to talk about backdooria, be my guest. But the reality as men, we're going to have to understand we live in a society that is going to be very sensitive towards the treatment of women. Okay. Women, black women, white women, and especially when you're a black man and, you know, you have some harsh criticisms of women and your show is catered towards the black community. There is a great number of like black feminists who are looking to say that you're a misogynist, you know, you hate women and all of the like. Okay. So people are going to not want to deal with you based on the fact that you're on camera doing X, Y, and Z. It's just what they're not going to want to do that. And the reason is because you're just too hot to handle, right? Now, again, whether he makes the apology or not, he still wouldn't be touched for a long time or a short time. But eventually, you know, going the apologetic route, he could resurface. We've seen this over and over again. And the reason is anybody who hires Corey Holcomb, basically what they're saying in the general public to many people is that, hey, we're okay with somebody who pushes women in the face. We don't care. And then people are going to not only come after Corey Holcomb, they're going to come after the establishment. So the way his positioning is right now, he's making it extremely difficult for venues to hire him because they're going to suffer. Now, you know, he's just too expensive to deal with. And guys, this accountability thing, and I got to say this because I see it so much when it comes to black men and when we talk about black women, and I'm one of them, that, you know, black women got to take accountability, right? And I get that. This is an opportunity for Corey Holcomb to like get out in front of it. Hey, look, I made a mistake. And it's not really TMZ's fault. I mean, it is TMZ's fault if they're carrying it out, but it's my fault because I put myself in this situation. And the way that the world is going to look at it is that you're black, you're a man, okay? You have this attitude like it's somebody else's fault. So it's going to make the persons or peoples involved come after you more. And so then you're going to blame them and you want sympathy because you're losing work as if you're not a part of the problem. And you got to understand that when you talk like this, you are the problem. Like there's no way to get it around it, whether you like it or not. And as black men, we're going to have to reconcile with the fact that yes, we make mistakes sometimes. And when we do make mistakes, we need to get in front of those mistakes and try to make it right. And so that we don't make the mistakes again. It doesn't look good. And it's not intelligent to double down and then say, well, you know, it's y'all's fault. Y'all the reasons why X, Y, and Z. Like nobody wants to hear that, especially even if you're like a 17 or 18-year-old person. Nobody really wants to hear it if you're 57. Woo! Nobody has any sympathy for a person who would talk like this, especially you're a grown man, you're big in the grassroots, you command a big audience, you have a lot of people who are looking into you and some people may look up to you. They're not going to understand this, right? And then you just make things worse for yourself. Like we cannot dig ourselves into a bigger hole. The best way to get out of the hole that we dig for ourselves is to stop digging and to start climbing out of the hole. Let's start climbing out of the ditch and change our situation. And in my honest opinion, this is Corey Holcomb going out sad. And again, this is not to like diss him or anything. It's just we all can learn from this so we don't mess around and make the same mistake. And many of us as black men are going to have to like hold an L to a certain degree or something until we can actually do better, right? We got to know 2025, 2026, if you get on video, somebody sees you confronting a woman, putting your hands on a woman, when you know how people on social media feel about that, and if you decide to do something anyway, despite knowing that it's going to end bad for you, then it's not TMZ's fault. Ultimately, it's your fault. And then when you say it's somebody else's fault, people just lose respect for you because of the way you're handling it. It doesn't seem very masculine to do that. And I'm just being honest, we can all fall short. But this is something that we just gonna have to understand. Females start talking crazy. Females doing whatever they're doing. We gonna have to start running away from it, especially if we got something to lose, right? I remember one day, I had a situation with a young lady. I was in college, and it was like a text message conversation or something like that. And my dad told me, he said, the next time you see that MNFer, run. I said, what? He says, take off running. I said, why? Just take off running like you Carl Lewis. He said, the reason why is because you cannot be seen arguing with her because you don't know who might come. Some dudes may come around, anybody might come around and think that you're the ones doing X, Y, and Z, and you're going to be in trouble. It's your word against theirs. But if you take off running, they can't say nothing. You know, only that you just took off running. Now, stop it, Sean. That's a bad idea in Africa because somebody might think you stole something. Woo! And God forbid they say, thief! Because if they catch you. So, guys, what do you think? It's your boy, Oshay Duke Jackson. Back at it again. Another episode of Dustin Every Drunk. Thank you for all the Discord bell. We're out.